Welcome to CPAC Now, America Uncanceled, for a very special episode of our show. We are currently in Mar-a-Lago here in Palm Beach, Florida, the home of America's president, President Donald J. Trump, for the very first premiere of CPAC's film, The Culture Killers, The Woke Wars. Now stay tuned because you do not want to miss this.
We wouldn't be doing what we are doing as a group if it wasn't for all of you. Now, this is kind of pretty august surroundings. Can't imagine it gets better than this. But some of you...
Well, there is one place called the White House, which I think is pretty cool,
That's a good
too.
point.
And I'd like to see this president back in there. I don't know.
CPAC White House?
CPAC White House. Let's do it.
Hey, they're taping this, Caroline. If you were here 8 years ago, there might be a couple of you. And now there's a whole bunch of you. As a matter of fact, there would have been more, except we wanted the intimate ballroom because we view you all. I know sometimes people say we're all family, but for us, you guys really are. You're our friends. You're our family. We're warriors together, and we're all worried. We know we're worried. And when you wake up and you look around and you realize how many wonderful patriotic people are around the country, and we've experienced around the world, it gives you a lot of hope.
That's right. And I want to recognize Jason Meath, his beautiful wife, Renee, and
Where's
Richard,
Jason?
the editor.
Come here.
And want to just bring him up to talk about this documentary. It was really his vision of highlighting what we're seeing in our culture.
By the way, doesn't Jason look cool? Come here.
He looks so
Look at
Palm
this.
Beach.
He's
Trump, I gotta buy
I feel like
you.
he's going to ship me in the back or something. What's going on here?
So I wanted to have Jason just say a little bit about the film. We did do one documentary over a year ago called The World is Watching, which is on Prime Video. This one is the second one. This is literally an exclusive premiere. So you all are really going to be the first to watch it. So we're really honored that you're joining us. Although this is a very celebratory night because we're all together. Obviously, the topic is very serious, but I think that Jason did a beautiful job of capturing what we're seeing in our culture and how we're ready to fight back.
Thank you so much. And thank you to Matt and Mercy for this entire evening. We are so grateful to all be here to bring this film to all of you. This has been about a year and a half in the making. There are over 40 different very powerful voices in this movie, and it has been a little bit of time to get them to actually be able to speak out. There were a lot of people that we actually tried to approach that would not speak out because they were afraid, because of cancel culture makes people afraid. That's what they want. That's their job. That's their focus. That's what they want to do every single day. And unless you fight back and unless you really push back and identify it. Identifying cancel culture is the first step to stopping it. And that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to identify cancel culture. We're going to identify the people that are running these school boards that are poisoning our children's minds. We're going to identify people on the corporate wokeness that we know Disney is now feeling the hurt. Hopefully, they're feeling the hurt. Maybe Twitter will feel the hurt with Elon Musk's deal to buy them. And that's what we're going to call out tonight because we're going to identify it in there. And you'll see it firsthand. We can't wait to show it to you. And actually, the funny thing is that we were actually putting little teeny finishing touches on it tonight because Richard there is a meticulous perfection artist.
Great job, Richard.
And he was catching little things. And so at 12:45 in the morning, I was like, okay, emergency. So now we've got the final film, and I think everybody will see the final piece tonight, and I certainly hope you enjoy it.
Well, Jason, I thought the glasses were because it was a cool thing, not because you were so tired.
It's a little bit of both.
Well, the Ballabons kept me up late last night, so it's your fault if I fall asleep at dessert. But what you all know is at CPAC, what we try to do is not just talk, and because we conference, that's hard because there's a lot of talking. 4 days of talking. I'm not so good at listening to 4 days. We get through it. So our test is, are we actually doing stuff, or are we talking about doing stuff? So it's a documentary. It's important to name the names, shame the people who are destroying this country and destroying freedom. But the other thing we're doing is we are raising money through this First Amendment Fund, which is a part of our C3, so that we can help the victims of cancel culture. In our minds, that starts with the victims on 1/6, the victims of Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger and all these people who are being tortured, their professional lives are being destroyed, and their political rights are being trampled on. We got to make sure we help as many of these people as possible. The fund intends to help people who are without a lot of wealth and without a lot of power and status in society, teachers, coaches, cops, young people who work for politicians who have our views or similar views. So know that when we show this documentary around the country and around the world, we know that we'll also be helping these victims.
Can you tell me a little bit about the film itself?
Well, Colton, first of all, it's a great honor to be here at Mar-a-Lago. It's your first time?
It's my very first time here, and I'm loving every second of it.
Okay, so tell me, what's your impression?
This place is absolutely beautiful. The people here are just ready to take back this country, and I couldn't be more proud to be standing next to you here at Mar-a-Lago.
Well, let me tell you something. What this movie is about is for literally your generation. It is about the experiences that we've seen across the country of these victims of the cancel culture. And so we've made this decision that it's important to put it out in the open, to make sure people are aware of the dangers of when you have government, when you have leftist organizations trying to silence you, trying to shut you down. And it's why we felt so strongly that this movie needed to be put together with such incredible, talented individuals and a lot of these political leaders who they themselves have suffered from being canceled. I got to tell you, Matt, my husband, he has gone through a lot of hardship in terms of being canceled, whether it be through big tech, whether it be through corporations. And one thing I've learned from him, one thing I've learned from Donald Trump, is you keep fighting. You don't back down, and you keep speaking, and you speak up loud and boldly, because it's the only way we can make sure that we keep this country safe and that we keep ensuring that we protect our freedoms in America.
Well, Mercy, I couldn't have said it any better myself.
Oh, I don't know. You're pretty good, Colton. I think you could do it.
No, you guys have done an amazing job with this event, with the film itself, and I just can't wait to see what people think about it.
It's going to be great, and we can't wait for you all to watch the film as well. We're going to be having premieres across the country. And
California next.
California next. So we're very thrilled that we'll be able to share this film with you come in the next few weeks, and obviously at CPAC Dallas, don't forget, in early August.
Get your tickets now, conservative.org. All right, so we are here with Jason Meath, director and producer of the film The Culture Killers, The Woke Wars. Jason, what was the purpose and why was it so necessary that this film was created?
You know, over 3/4 of American people actually believe that their culture is under assault and that they're very worried about cancel culture. This film exposes the perpetrators of what's going on in our society, where people are being fired from their jobs, people are being expelled from school, parents are being expelled from their from open forum discussions with school boards, saying that they're going to being labeled as domestic terrorists by the Biden administration. We have a culture now that is intolerant of anybody or anything that they don't like. The woke have taken over, and we need to push back. There is a desperate need for people to push back against this, or we're going to lose our American culture.
Right, and you say push back. How can we do that? Can you give a little, just one-line advice of how we can push back against this cancel culture?
The first step is to call it out. A lot of people are afraid to call it out because it's safer just to sort of be silent, don't say anything, move along. We see tidbits of this almost every day in our society, and people don't like it. They look at it in the paper, they hear it on the local news, something that's happened that bothers them. Speak out against it. During COVID, I met so many different families, and especially mothers, who were upset about how their children were being treated in schools. And my advice to them was, call the principal, call other parents, send letters, call and email people, get it in writing, call the press, do everything you can to sound alarm bells. If you don't do that, these people will they won't take an inch, they'll take miles and miles and miles, and they'll never stop. But when they did, in the certain instances that I heard back from them, all of them made progress against it. You just have to speak up.
Here with Larry, who is the co-founder of Club 45. Larry, I have one question for you. What can Americans do to get motivated to take back the House and Senate this coming November in the midterm elections?
Well, there are plenty of things that people can do, plenty of opportunities to work and make an effort, but the most important thing is that they get themselves out on election day and vote, and get all of their friends and neighbors out and vote. We have plenty of opportunity to win this election in 2022 as well as 2024, but it's all about getting out the vote. So we need to make sure that each and every one of our friends vote in 2022 and take back the House and the Senate, and in 2024, restore the White House to Donald J. Trump, the greatest president we've ever had.